Welcome back to the floor here in Seattle for the NA Regionals. Everything is just wrapped up. We just saw the finals between TSM and Dignitas. I'm MonteCristo from ggChronicle, and of course standing with me is the legend, HotshotGG from Counter Logic Gaming. So let's start with some of the what happened today. So earlier today, you guys played in the third place match against Cursed, and congratulations for pulling that one out. How does it feel to be heading to the Season 2 World Championships?
You know, it feels good. It's like so much off my shoulders to be able to participate in the World Finals and secure myself in the Season 3 circuit.
I mean, it's fantastic for you guys, and I know that you, in particular, have sacrificed so much to get to the Season 2 World Finals. You know, you've kind of said in the past that you lost a lot of, money from the streaming to go to Korea, and it's really been about just training so hard for CLG, and that's been, I think, a difference between some of the other North American teams that don't take your kind of regimen as seriously or didn't think that it was necessary to travel to Asia in order to face, a different kind of competition. So what has your experience been, since we haven't actually had an interview with you in quite some time, what has your experience been in this latest round in Korea, and how has it helped you kind of gel as a team with your newest member, Voyboy?
So yeah, initially we picked up Voy, and we didn't know what we were in for. Voy's playstyle was completely different than anybody in North America, and as it's good on our team, it was very, very flawed. And so I think the meta changed, and just we had to work with Voyboy to get him up to speed, and Korea did that, and Voyboy caught up. He did a lot better, and then our team became strong again. That's the thing. We could have used more time as a team to prepare and practice, but there's a lot of getting people up to speed. I wasn't that comfortable on jungle. I need to pick up some junglers. I need to practice. I need to lose. I need to win, and that's what Korea did.
So you were talking about Voyboy's playstyle not really be in sync with your team. So how has either your team changed or Voyboy's style changed to gel and kind of become strong again?
So it's always harder to change 4 people than 1. Voyboy has just learned more how to play standard matchups. Before, he could win a lot of the matchups. Like, he would run top lane Nunu and win and that sort of thing, but we'd find out like these matchups aren't really favorable in the long run. They don't scale into late game. Or if something goes wrong, then the matchups just flop. So he learned to really spam the OPs. He learned to play them confidently, and hopefully we can use his strength. Voyboy's strength is learning multiple champions really fast and using unorthodox setups. We weren't able to use that just because we didn't really gel as a team when that happened, but hopefully we do now.
So you were also talking about your transition to jungle. Now, we saw you run some strong jungle champs and play really well. I especially noticed your Dr. Mundo play was very good. How would you, as you've kind of gone on this journey of learning a new position, how would you characterize yourself as a jungler these days? And how would you describe your jungling compared to some other junglers out there?
In terms of ward clearing and knowing where I'm supposed to be in terms of the lanes, I think I'm very, very strong. If my team is behind, I can oracle clear, relieve pressure, not waste too much time there. And my weakness is still the same as it's always been since I first started jungling. I don't clear my camps well enough. I get behind the other jungler in terms of farm.
So you have the opportunity in Korea to really learn a lot from Snoopy, I imagine, which helped you quite a bit, kind of get up to speed. But you played very different jungle champs than Snoopy. So what did you learn from him, even though you're kind of playing, you kind of have a different arsenal of champions under your belt?
Well, actually, lately Snoopy's kind of been playing my arsenal of junglers. So we kind of, I learned from him, he's learned from me. But I think that Snoopy is just overall right now better than me at jungling in general. I have like 2 champions that I know I'm better at by far, but overall his arsenal is more complete and he's just a very good jungler.
So we saw, I'm going to go really quickly into the games that we saw you guys play today, including kind of a rehash, except it was a little different than what you guys ran against CLG EU in the OGN group stage with the promote and teleports. This time we saw it with Sivir. I believe the first time we saw it was with, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Caitlyn Nunu in mid lane.
Sorry, it was with Sivir initially, and then we started using Graves instead.
So how did this strategy come about, and how exactly do you focus on playing that in-game? What are your kind of keys to winning with that specific strategy?
All right, so initially, like, promote was a concept that I played in solo queue, and I was like, damn, this is pretty good. And, you know, that was my flavor, that was my element that I feel that I put towards it. And then I think when we sat down, Chauster was like, oh, we can do all these cool plays with mass TPs. And I was like, yeah, I agree with you. And so Chauster sat down with the TPs and he's like, this is how we should use this. And so me and Chauster put together most of it. And then everybody just added their flavor, what they felt was strong here and there. And it just came together like that.
So how do you feel about Curse, playing them and knocking them out of the tournament? You know, what exactly were your big points to winning against Curse? Like, what do you think in those games went in your favor? You did use that promote strategy again. So how would you describe your play in those games?
So the weird thing is that TSM and Curse are very like strong in fundamentals, but they both lack innovation. They lack strategy, and that's what really sets us apart from Curse. You know, we were able to predict everything down to a T, and had no mistakes happen on our part, and we were just better mechanically, we would have just stomped them so hard it wasn't even funny. Same goes with TSM. Honestly, I feel that TSM has a really, really strong player set, but their innovation and their thought process is lacking severely. So it's been like that for the longest time. You know, we beat TSM by outthinking them, not outplaying them. So I think we'll just continue to do that. I think as a team, we're really, really smart players, and we can come up with some really crazy stuff. And I think we'll use that to our advantage in the future.
So with the kind of games that we saw today, or with your loss, I should say, to Dignitas yesterday, you played probably one of the longest matches of League of Legends that's ever occurred in the professional scene. And I thought that Dignitas was looking a little cheeky because I haven't seen Caitlyn Nidalee on a team since you guys used to play your poke comp. So what happened in the game with the poke comp where you guys lost that really like tense nail biter, and we saw, on the other hand, TSM beat it quite effectively by using Skarner today. So what was your thought process during that game, and how are you trying to stop them, and what would you have done if you had another chance?
So it's always easier to see a comp like literally play out 100% and then counter against it. The thing is, we knew it was coming, we didn't know how it was coming, and the Jungle Alistar threw us off because Jungle Alistar is not really a pick you associate with poke comp. So that threw us off, and we just didn't have our picks in line, and I think they just wanted champion select at that point. As far as TSM and Dignitas goes, I talked to Dignitas and I was like, how did you guys fail so hard? And they were like, we just didn't plan it out. And so I think they got too lenient after they beat us. This was the only match they really cared about, I guess. And so TSM just steamrolled them, and it really showed. Their level 1s were lacking, their strategy was lacking, and they knew TSM, knew they were going to pull out poke comp. And when you know something's coming, it's so easy to beat. So Dignitas all around, just poor performance, but overall they did good in the tournament.
So I want to actually ask you about some personal stuff for just a second, and of course you can not answer if you so choose, but I think that a lot of fans over the course of League of Legends who have been watching the professional scene for a long time have seen a really radical transformation in your personality, from, you know, kind of like entertaining, raging on stream, into like being really dedicated to the growth of esports, and like kind of having that eye of the tiger champion mentality, and really buckling down and getting serious about the game and serious about professionalism, and being very generous in helping out esports as a whole. Would you be willing to describe kind of what changed with you and some of the turning points, and why you wanted to make that kind of personal journey?
So initially I was really caught up in all I guess the wealth that was coming to me when I was streaming initially, and you know, I thought I'm comfortable right now with my life, and I just want to make other people happy, right? I'm fortunate enough to have the ability to play video games, make a large salary, and and just live comfortably. And so I wanted to share that with everyone else, including the scene. So when I was making the big bucks, I would take everyone out to dinner. A lot of people, I guess no one mentioned this, but I'd take Dignitas out to dinner, I'd take Curse out to dinner, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. At the end of Europe, like some trips in Europe, some events in Europe, I'd have like a €500 bill at the end, and I'd be like, but so it's just, I grew up in that sense that I found what I wanted, and that's just to be stable, to have security. And I found that making other people happy, making my friends happy, in the long run, it feels better.
It's a very important revelation. All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. You got a lot of fans, I think, that want to talk to you. But thanks so much for doing the interview. And I really respect your speech on stage there at the end, too, thanking your girlfriend. And, yeah, I think it was very manly and mature. And I got a lot of respect for you, man. So thanks a lot for the interview. Again, guys, I'm MonteCristo. With me is HotshotGG. Stay tuned for more interviews. Thanks a lot.